In this video, I'll share with you how to create a simple yet effective content calendar using Notion, so you can plan all your YouTube videos ahead of time. I'll skip the Notion account registration and setup just because it's pretty straightforward. I'll just leave a link in the description below instead, so if you're new to Notion, you can just check it out there. What I'll do is I'll start with explaining to you the 3 main steps to this entire YouTube planning Notion setup that I have. The first is ideation. This is where you list down all your video ideas so that you can organize them later. The second step is the scheduling. This is where you put a date for each and every video that you're going to publish. And the third step is actually react. This is how you will react to certain type of situations based on the information that you have in Notion. And this way you can mitigate risk and make sure that everything is smooth sailing with all the right communications to the right people. Let's start with creating a video list for our ideation stage. Scroll down to the left-hand side of the menu and find Add Page. Click on it and then select Table. In Notion, there are several ways to view information. A table view is the most basic way to view information. Think of it as an Excel spreadsheet. Now let's give this page a title and add an icon to visualize it. Next, let's set up properties for this table. You can think of properties as different columns in a table. You can organize tables however you want, but at the ideation stage, the most important information are video titles and video ID. So let's add the video title property. Click on top of this column and let's rename it to title. And then let's add the video ID property. Click on top of the next column here and call it ID. And we need to change the type of information we want to store in this column. In this case, select number. Okay, now that we have the video list set up, I'm going to show you how to actually use it. There are 2 main steps to this process: capture and prioritize. Step 1, capture. Let's say you're brainstorming and you find a few really awesome video ideas. The first thing you gotta do is to type them down into this list. Don't worry about getting them perfect. The key here is to capture ideas before they're forgotten. Step 2, prioritize. Key in numbers for the ID from most important to least important for each video. Or you can prioritize which videos you want to work on first. This doesn't make much sense at the moment, but once you add sorting, you can actually see a different perspective of this. Click on sort, add sort, select ID as the property, and then leave this as ascending. And what you'll see is your video ideas are now rearranged according to the highest priority, which is the smallest number, to the biggest number. Any video ideas that doesn't have any priority or no ID should not be worked on, since it's not that important at this moment. With our list of ideas organized, we can continue to the next step, which is scheduling our videos. So click on the top of the next column and then let's call it publish date and change the property type to date. This way we can key in dates as a new format in this column. Click on any empty cell and you can see a calendar pop up. And this way you can assign dates as to when your video will go live. I'm just gonna assign dates now. Once you're done assigning your published dates, you can visualize this view into a calendar view. Click on Add View, select Calendar, and give it a name. Now that you roughly know which videos will be published when, you can plan your video recording more effectively, especially if it involves other people or shooting at specific locations. Now, part of the scheduling process, there's a few things you can do in the calendar view. First is to check for any videos that may not have a date scheduled yet. You can click on this button right here, and this is a quick way to have a quick view on all the videos that are not yet assigned to a date. Next, you can easily drag each video if you want to reschedule them to a different date, like this. You can also add new video ideas directly to the calendar by clicking on the plus icon and just typing in a new video idea. Now, this is all great, but to boost efficiency, we need to keep track of each of our activities. So let's move on to the next big step. Let's add statuses to our videos. Let's create a new view. Click this button right here, Add View, select Board as our type of view, and put in the name Status. Now our view is now showing the different statuses, but because we don't have any assigned to each video, nothing's much changed here. Everything's under no status. To add a status, click this plus icon here, and you can define any status however you want, but the typical ones are usually to do, planning, recording, editing, upload, or done. You can rearrange the statuses however you want in terms of the sequence. You can also click on this icon right here to change the color of these statuses if you need to. After you're done setting up your statuses, you can assign a status for each video. However, you should focus only on the highest priority videos which have IDs assigned. But right now, this list right here contains every single video idea. So we can click on filter, add a new filter, and select on ID. Instead of equals, we show is not empty. This will filter out any video ideas that doesn't have an ID assigned, which means it's not that important right now. Now you can select the different videos you have and assign the statuses that's relevant to them. Let's imagine maybe video idea D is in the planning stage. Now that we've gone through the ideation process and the scheduling process, let's move on to the react process. Hit back to calendar view, and here we can start setting up our bird's eye view of all the different videos that we have. This is where we can also add properties, statuses, to show the different statuses of each video. Status is important for knowing which videos to work on first, which requires more time in planning, and maybe which videos to move on to the next step. You can also choose to show only specific statuses in your calendar. To do that, we can duplicate this calendar view by clicking this button right here. Select duplicate. Maybe rename this to show only planning. Now we can click on filter, add a new filter, and select status. Specifically, select the planning status. Now you can see that other videos are now hidden unless they have the status of planning. This is a good way to show that which videos are ready to move on from planning to the next stage. You can also make another duplicate calendar and maybe call it editing, and that way you can know which videos are ready for editing. So the list goes on and on. You can customize and duplicate as many calendars as you need to show the different statuses that will suit your process. This can help you to batch produce multiple videos since the human brain is optimized at doing the same task back to back instead of context switching every time. So for example, if I were to only focus on, let's just change this filter here. And right now, I just want to focus on the videos that are in the to-do, and I want to do them all in one shot, maybe this week of the 1st December. I can already know what those videos are, and I can write them and plan for them all in one shot. This also helps by dividing tasks with your other team members. Let's say you have to outsource your video editing. Let's hit back to the status view, and let's say these videos are going to the editing stage. In a nutshell, you already know which videos are needed for editing, and you can send them straight to the freelancer or videographer that is helping you out. By the way, what kind of videos do you plan to make for your YouTube channel? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you need help to make videos, check out this playlist right here.